right, Shalom. We the brothers of Great Millstone, the church in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, we want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash.
Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, men whom we believe through faith to be raised up here in these latter days to establish the words of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, and to all the sincere brethren out there that's continuing in that legacy, pushing out this gospel in all true faith and sincerity, Shalom. So, yeah, we back, and of course, we're in the spirit of prophecy, you know, because that's what this thing is all about. You got these different groups out there, especially these niggas, ITR. I don't know if you know, them niggas, they have dedicated themselves to preaching the gospel for envy and strife. When you go into that word strife, it means debate. And they not dealing with the spirit of prophecy, none whatsoever, man, you know? But that's a testament of them not coming in the spirit of Yahushua, all right? And not to mention these so-called Christians, these wacky-tacky Christians, or those amongst you out there that claim to build your foundation off the scriptures, you know? And for you listeners out there, if you're trying to discern who has the truth, well, let's get Revelation 19 chapter. And somebody get, what's that, 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter? Yep, in the 5th verse, I think it is. Yeah, get that. Yep, so go ahead.
Yeah, this Revelation chapter 19 and 10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua.
Right, so we're going to see what the testimony of Yahushua is. Continue.
It said, worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy.
Right, so if you claim to come in the spirit of Yahushua, all right, then you will prophesy.
That's right.
That's the testimony of our Lord Yahushua. So for all the listeners, and if you straddling the fence, you wondering who has the truth or not, well, if they're not in the spirit of prophecy, if they're not prophesying, then obviously they're not coming in the spirit of Yahushua. All right, go ahead up.
1.
14.
14 and 1.
Okay, and 1. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1, follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy.
Yep, rather that ye may prophesy. All right, go ahead, more on that. Jump down to the 5th verse.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 5, I would that ye all speak with tongues, but rather that ye prophesy. For greater is he that prophesies.
See, for greater is he that prophesies, man. So if you're looking for the pinnacle of this thing, you know, those who are at the forefront, then they will be in the spirit of prophecy. All right, go ahead.
It says, but rather that ye prophesy, for greater is he that prophesied than he that speaketh with tongues, except he interpret, that the church may receive edifying.
Right. So somebody can come in here speaking Hebrew fluently, but if he ain't prophesying, then you know, that's going to be canceled out. All right. So with that, the only group out here, and we say that humbly, you know, not to boast, but the men here at Great Millstone, we the only men that's dedicated to prophesying. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashah, and this sitting right here, that's what we're going to do, man. We're going to prophesy because the time we're approaching, you know, is going to be a time. Matter of fact, somebody get that real quick. Daniel, the 12th chapter, the 1st verse. The time we're coming into is not going to be a time that anybody ever has seen or experienced before, man.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So the Lord set us up to kind of soften the blow. You know, to give you you know, the heads up on what's about to happen, man. All right, so that's the importance of prophecy right there. So go ahead up.
Yeah, this is Daniel chapter 12 and 1. And at that time, Michael, it's like, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince will stand up for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And in that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Right, so it's going to be a time that's never been seen before. A time that can't be rivaled with any other time in history, man. And we're approaching those times, all right? So what's the main objective? The main objective is to prophesy and to warn the people. Somebody get that Ezekiel right quick before we get into this thing. Because when you foreshadow, hey, this is spiritual power, man. A lot of people looking for a sign and a wonder. You want the Lord to show you some sign to validate that the Spirit is dealing with us. Well, guess what? The very fact that we foreshadowing and we telling you what's going to happen in the future, that's spiritual power, man. Did not we tell you it was the year of Corona? Now all of a sudden you got the chip, the momentum of the chip. We told you that a lot of the wicked women amongst our nation gonna receive judgment in 2019 as well. Right. Every time you look up, you see another
catching.
They catching it, man.
Right.
So that's the Spirit of the Lord, on us, man. All right, that's spiritual power. So go ahead up.
Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 1. Again, the word of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people.
Right. So the Lord said he's going to set up men of your coast to be your watchmen, right? If you see the sword coming, meaning what? The Lord give you foresight.
That's right.
He give you the sight. Matter of fact, somebody give me Matthew 13 and 16 real quick.
I got it.
Get that. Bring it out.
This is Matthew 13 and 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear.
See, blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. That's why. Read this one more time. Read it one more time.
Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 3. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people.
It said, if you see the sword coming, now go back here.
Yeah. This is Matthew 13 and 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear.
So we can see the trouble that's on the horizon. Meaning we the watchmen. When you go into the ancient world, you had watchmen that would sit on the towers, and when they see the trouble coming, the trouble on the horizon, what they'll do, they'll blow the trumpet and they'll warn the people, man. Okay. So that's what's unfolding before your very eyes in the spirit. And guess who those watchmen is today? The men here at Great Millstone. Because out of all these other groups, yeah, they might tell you that you Israelites, like you had this clown Sakari, he out in front of the strip joint prophesying, man. You know? Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, man. Scriptures tell you that the filthy be filthy still, man. You know? So we are to warn the people of the danger that's coming. All right? Go ahead up, finish that up.
Yeah. And this is 13, in verse 10. Basically, the disciples was asking, a question. But this is 13:11. Salakia, 13:11. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. Verse 12. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and that hath is having those ears. Okay. And he shall have more abundance, but whatsoever have not, for him shall be taken away, even that he hath.
Right, so the Lord gave us the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. All right. Matter of fact, get what you got right quick. Somebody get Amos 3rd chapter.
Yeah, this Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil.
A prudent man foreseeth the evil. Okay? When you go into the word evil, it's a compound word. Eve meaning age or time, and ill meaning bad. So a prudent man seeth the bad times coming. All right, go ahead.
It said, a prudent man foreseeth the evil, and powder himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
Right, so the simple pass on and are punished. So those out there who claim to build their foundation off the scriptures, they claim to know this book. Yep. Well, they're going to just do their thing. They're going to just walk right into a missile, man.
That's right, man. Say
you know? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because but how you get to the kingdom of heaven, you have to go through these prophecies, man. You have to go through trial, tribulation. You have to go through what evil time is bringing up on us, which Yahushua is bringing up on us, man.
Yeah, you got it. That's right. That's a good point. Matter of fact, you know what? Get that real quick since I brought that up. In 2nd Ezra, 7th chapter, who might see the broad unless they go through the... Because before we can actually get into the kingdom, matter of fact, while you're getting that, give me Acts 14 and 22. And see, this is the bitterness of the scriptures, man. This is the nastiness of the scriptures, which the so-called pastor and preacher out there, and even those amongst the circumcised, When I say circumcised, those you know who you Israelites, you want to skip past the bitterness of the scriptures. But when you read Jeremiah the 28th chapter, it tell you that we prophesy war, and we're going to bring that out, man. Matter of fact, get that. Jeremiah the 28th chapter. You know, the prophets of old. All right, go ahead and get what you got.
Yeah, the second Ezra 7 and 6. It says, there is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things.
And that's the kingdom. All right, go ahead.
It says the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall.
And that's America. Meaning before we get to the kingdom, we have to go through America. This is that dangerous place to fall. There's pitfalls all over this place. When you come into this truth, you have to navigate through the pitfalls of America. All right, go ahead.
It said, like as there were like as there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water.
Go ahead.
And only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be one man go there at once.
Really?
It says, if the city now were given unto a man for an inheritance.
Right, if you was going to receive this city for an inheritance, what got to happen?
If he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
And what's the part of that danger that's set before we get there? We got to go through these missiles. Give me that real quick. And somebody get Psalm 91. Yeah, go ahead, bring it out.
The book of Acts, chapter 14, and verse 22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
And what's the part of that tribulation? When those ICBM missiles begin to be shot throughout the world. All right, go ahead up.
So you want to get to the point? This Psalm chapter 91.
Let's go to the top.
All right, Psalm 91:1 says, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
And right now it's the secret place of the Most High. The brothers on the coming board, the brothers sitting here in this wise counsel. This is the secret place of the Most High. You know why? Because your cousin don't know about this. He don't know. If we was to tell him to come in, if he was to come sit in on us, he gonna say, what you talking about, bro?
Okay.
What's Babylon? What's Babylon?
He said, get your book over there. Hold on.
Over who? Go ahead. This is a secret, man. All right? Go ahead.
I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the north. It's like he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
And what's the noisome pestilence? When those ICBM missiles going to be shot throughout the world, man. You know? Go ahead.
And before that, you got to go through the Jacob trouble.
Yeah.
So it's a stepstone to this thing, man. You know, you just can't go through it and go straight to the kingdom of heaven. Now you can do that in Esau's world if you sell your soul, okay? But go ahead.
Yeah. And those riches right there is temple. You know?
Can.
All right, continue up.
It says, he shall cover thee with his feathers.
And that's dealing with the chariots. All right? Because the only way you're going to escape from that World War III is going to be in the form, it's going to be an aerial escape. You know? Go ahead up.
And under his wings shalt thou trust.
Yep.
His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night,
go ahead,
nor by the arrow that fly by day.
And what's that arrow? Those nuclear missiles, man. Okay? Thus, the title of this sitting, man, World War III. We're going to show you through the Spirit that World War III is prophesied in the scriptures, man.
That's right.
You know? Go ahead up.
It says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
And the destruction that wasteth at noonday is when World War III has ran its course and reached its climax. Right. Because if you know anything about the doomsday clock, it's so many minutes to 12. And that's noonday. Okay? So the scripture's on point, man. It's just you people don't have the spirit. You know, it don't resonate with you. All right? So is that on that?
A little bit more.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
1,000 shall fall at thy side,
yep,
and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
Right. So we're going to be blessed Matter of fact, give me with the Sirach 25.
The water in
yeah, 9 things. Yeah, so the Lord has reserved us to actually see his work manifest. We're gonna see this beautiful piece of work come to fruition, man. With our eyes, we're gonna see our enemies fall. And that's a blessing. But the Lord is gonna do it through the act of war. Okay? Somebody hold Ecclesiastes the 3rd chapter on there. Because see, war is not a foreign thing with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. You know? Matter of fact, somebody get Exodus 15:3 as well. Go ahead, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 25:7. There be 9 things which I have joined in my heart to be happy. In the 10th, I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
Right, so we're going to be preserved to see the fall of Esau.
That's
when
right.
those missiles are shot throughout the world. See, the Lord is going to bring about deliverance through the act of war.
That's right.
Okay, and that in itself is foreign to you people. But there's a reason why. Go ahead, I'll bring it up.
This is Exodus 15:3. The Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is a man of war.
See, is a man of war.
That's right.
So this shouldn't be something that you should scratch your head and marvel at. The fact that the Lord is going to use the instrument of war to go about his business, man, to work his work. See? All right, go ahead. That was it on that, right?
The Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is his name.
Right, and that the Lord stand behind what he said, you know?
That's right.
So now give me Ecclesiastes, start at the top 3 and 1.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right, to everything there's a season, okay? Meaning what? The seasons is symbolic to the changing of the guard. You know what prove that? Get that in Daniel 2:20 right quick. The seasons don't stay the same, man. You know, we was just, cold, a month or so back, bundling up. Now, the weather is slowly changing. The season is changing. Right. So now it's time for spring to overthrow the winter. Right. And after that, the summer is everything a war. Oh, matter of fact, yeah, you know what that is? Is it Second Ezra? Get that. The 2 and 2, everything 2 and 2, 7.
That's in
Ecclesiastes. Is it 30?
You talking about good set again? And all that.
33 and 14,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, get that. All right, go ahead.
Daniel. Yeah, this Daniel 2 and 20. Daniel answered and said, "Blessed be the name of the Most High forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. He changed the times and the seasons."
Okay, the Lord changes the time and the seasons. Now you have some pork chop eating pastor say, "Yeah, I know that. I know the Lord changed the time and the seasons." But what is it really going into? Continue.
It says he removed kings and set up kings.
So the removal and setting up of kings is in the same breath with changing the seasons, man.
Right.
So this is not a foreign idea, a concept to digest. The fact that the so-called white man in his current rulership is going to be overthrown because the seasons got to change. All right? Go ahead. 33 and 14.
Yeah, it says he removed kings and set up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. Right.
So now go back to Ecclesiastes 3 and 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right. So what really happens again? Even the act of seasons is a war, man. That's a fight. If you're spiritual, you will know that everything happens is a fight. When you close your eyes and you open them, there's a fight. You can stand up and you can sit down. There's a fight. You can spit and you can swallow. There's a fight, man. That's show you that the Lord all about war. All right? You know what let's prove that? Get the scripture. You can give away and you can receive. That's a fight, man. All right? Go ahead, up.
It is Sirach 33, verse 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death.
See, that's the fight. Because if you're finna die, right, then you fight that. That life fights, you know?
Yeah, man.
Good set against evil. The Lord said that, man. Life is set against death. Okay, how brave you think you is? You go to Satan, you grab it. Oh, motherfucker guy, he's reaching and grabbing, knocking the lamp over, he got shot. You know what I mean? That's because that life is fighting. You grab a motherfucking tan shirt, you fight for your life, man. Good is set against evil and life against death. Go ahead.
So it's the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly.
Yep, go ahead.
So look upon all the works of the Most High.
Look upon all the works of the Most High. Now, right now it's night, right? In a minute it's going to be morning. What is that going to be? The morning is going to be actually overthrowing the night, man. That's a war, a constant battle. Then the night eventually beat the morning. And it's so on the fourth morning going to beat the night, you know? Go ahead.
So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are 2 and 2, one against another.
Everything is set against another, man. We sit down now, but we got to stand up. That's a fight. So you sitting down can't win, because eventually standing up aspect gonna go to war, gonna declare war on you sitting down, man. So let's say you sitting down, you can't say, well, I'm at peace, because that fight gonna come from you standing up. The standing up aspect gonna say, go to war. So the works of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah is all about war, man.
That's right.
So you guys think World War III ain't gonna happen? This is the works of the Lord. All right. You got more on that up? Was that in on that?
Yeah, that was
okay. Now go back to Ecclesiastes. Now, jump down to the
7.
the 8th verse.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 8. A time to love, a time to hate.
Right, a time to love and a time to hate.
Right.
All right, the pastors and preachers out there, you so-called, you false teachers, man, they just call it how it is. You believe that everything is all about love, you know? Even some of you Israelites. All right, go ahead.
A time of war and a time of peace.
In a time of war and a time of peace, and we definitely in a time of war. All right? So with all that established,
I got something.
you got something real quick? Go ahead and bring that, then we're going to go to the information you got.
Okay, Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 39 and 33. All the works of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, are good, and he will give every needful thing in due season, so that a man cannot say, this is worse than that, for in time they shall all be well approved.
Yeah, read that one more time, man.
Yeah, kind. This is Sirach 39 and 33. All the works of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are good, and he will give every needful thing in due season.
Yep, and that's it. And that due season is when our kingdom come in.
That's right.
You know? Because again, the seasons is against each other. You know, the seasons come up against one another. Right now, matter of fact, real quick, get what's that? Matthew 24 and 31. Matthew 24 and 31. We're gonna show you what season is on the horizon, what season we about to come into. Right now, we're in the dead of winter. What happened in the winter? The leaves fall, the trees die, your spirit is down. In the winter, your spirit low. You
May I say something?
depressed. Yeah, go ahead. Huh?
And then the damn so-called white man give you a new year. It's dead damn winter.
Yeah.
Y'all rejoice like it's springtime or something.
Yeah, come on.
It's,
So, yeah.
This Matthew chapter 24, verse 32. Now learn parable of the fig tree. When his branches is yet tender and put forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh.
Right, so that's the season we coming into, summer. Okay? Now what happens in the summer? The bear come out of hibernation, which is Russia, man. That's why you had the Cold War. What happened in the Cold War? The bear hibernated, man. Now the bear is going to come out and he's looking for blood. Because what happened when the bear come out of hibernation? He hungry. He looking for blood. So so that's why the spirit was set up for the summer to be the time where these devils go down, when the bear is let loose. Okay?
that's right.
So we're going to where I got.
Yeah, kind of. This is from www.independent.co.uk, and It reads, U.S. generals and politicians think about possibility of nuclear war.
Right. We could say, hey, right now we can say, all right, with that, give all praise on it. We can do that right now. You know why I say that? Because you got people out there that look at us like we crazy when we married ancient book with modern terminology such as World War III. When we married the two, people said we crazy, right? Okay. But how come we reading sources, and I challenge anybody out there to just Google World War III, and it's gonna bring up a list of all type of information from 5 hours, 6 hours, 17 hours, 23 hours, no later than a week ago, right? So this proves that we're not the only ones pushing out that vibration on the planet Earth. This is the vibration of the Earth right now. If you know the pulse and the climate on the planet Earth is war. Right. And I'm reading it right now. So go ahead, read. Go ahead.
The first scripture we pulled, the spirit Yahushua, the spirit of prophecy, which means to say before. So this is a book of prophecy. You can't. It's not an ancient book, man. This is a modern book, man.
Hey, man, and the brother just said this beautiful. The Russian troops just arrived in Venezuela.
Okay, on point on that, brother. They've been there. They've been in China.
Yeah,
I did a sit down on that. This was months back before I even joined GMS, before they even welcomed me into the camp. Yeah, okay, I did a sit down on that, and China and Russia. Matter of fact, they got 2 nuclear bombers in Venezuela. Russia do it right now. I mean.
So that's what I mean. Is they bringing paperwork and good tidings? They bring weapons. So that show you, like they bringing contracts and briefcases. They bringing weaponry, man, which proves the scriptures when they say there's a time and a season for everything under the sun. And it goes on to say that it's a time of war, man. All right? So go back to the information.
It said U.S. generals and politicians thinking about possibility of nuclear war. Russia's ambassador to Washington says, and the undertitle says, warning comes as Putin follows U.S. in suspending Cold War era arms treaty.
Woo!
So, and it was published on March 5th, 2019. And it says, Russia's ambassador to the United States, Anatoly Antonov, he has said arms control is in crisis, and he is scared. Washington has begun thinking about the possibility of winning a nuclear war.
So this is what dominates the thought of Putin, nuclear war. Give me Proverbs, that 21? The hand of
21.
Bring that out real quick. Whoever can get it. All right, but look, his mind is dead set on war, man. You know, in this nuclear arms race. All right, go ahead, bring it up.
Because Isaiah 9 and verse 5, for every battle of a warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Right, this war right here is going to be with burning and fuel of fire. The first thing you got to ask yourself is when the hell the world fuel doing in the Old Testament? You know? Yeah. So that's a hidden nugget that's in the scriptures that prove that this thing's this World War III is you know, these devils right at the border of World War III. So what does scripture have for Proverbs?
The Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of the water, eternal it whatsoever he will.
Right. So the word heart is lav in the Hebrew, which goes back to your mind. So the king's heart or mind is in the hand of the Lord. Now read that last line you just read with Putin.
It says
his concerns.
It says Russian ambassador to the United States, Antonov, has said arms control is in crisis and he is scared. Washington has begun thinking about the possibility of winning a nuclear war. In a rare public appearance since he took up the post in 2017, Mr. Antonov outlined Russian concerns over several U.S. withdrawals from arms treaties and called for greater recognition of risk of arms proliferation.
Right, so it's an arms treaties, meaning they came together at some point and they had an agreement, right?
That's the INF treaty that Trump withdrew from Russia
during
the Cold War. Reagan signed that into policy along with the Russian president at that time.
Yeah, Mikhail Gorbachev.
Exactly. Right on point. Him. So,
matter of fact, you got it up.
Yeah.
Keep speaking, but
they signed that in treatment, and y'all, y'all so facile, y'all elected Trump. He withdrew from that treaty, so he making the world look crazy. Like, hold on now, if we can't build intercontinental nuclear missiles, then America can build it. That's why he withdrew from there. And you gotta understand, man, America is so ancient with they machines and they missiles and war, man. America.
Well, yeah. Russia is light years ahead of America.
And China.
The military capability, man.
Technology alone.
Matter of fact, somebody can get that in Joel the 3rd chapter. Now, give me what you got. 2 Thessalonians, right quick.
It's all first
5 and 3.
First Thessalonians.
Oh, okay.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. But when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them as travail upon a woman with child.
Right. So those treaties, they was really none involved, man.
That's right.
You know, they sat down with this what we just read in Proverbs 21st chapter. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. So they might have the intentions to make these treaties and try to pretty much, you know, put the smoke on them, you know, quiet the grumblings. Because these devils know what this World War III will do, man. So they try to, you know, you got that balance of power with America and Russia. So what they'll try to do is try to keep everything peaceful, you know, because they know the ramifications of World War III. But guess what? The Lord will is for those missiles to be shot off, man. And you know, prove that. Let's get that real quick, since I said. I think there's Zephaniah 3 and 8. Is it?
No, I make a point too.
Yeah, go ahead.
With this article, it says on the recognition of risk of arms proliferation, which I looked at word proliferations in just a simple Google dictionary lookup, and it says rapid increase in numbers. So let you know, 200 million missiles is not a far-fetched thing, man. You know, it says rapid reproduction. And it says of a cell, part, or organism. So it's a rapid reproduction, man. These guys get ready. When you make a bullet, you don't just make 30 bullets for one clip, man. Hey, you doing it. You keep on, you make it. Not, you ain't count the bullets no more. You count the clips up. Yeah, I mean?
And it's on that quantum leap.
Yeah.
That's also comes out.
Yeah.
Now it's increasing. It's the missiles, too. They can produce them faster every 12 hours.
Yeah. And that's why it's like the missiles, they have warheads.
Yep.
Multiple warheads. That's one missile can have different warheads too.
That's right.
You know? So that's what, because you know what? That's the spirit. I actually had a clown go back and forth with me on the coming board for a minute. He was saying, there ain't that many missiles in the world. Statistics show. I was like, look, man, who you going to trust? The scriptures or some damn statistics, man?
Man, the sun going to be blocked out, man.
Yeah, man, the scriptures is going to stand, the scriptures stand the test, man. All right?
That's right.
So go ahead, Zephaniah 3 and 8. Go ahead. Yeah, that's it.
Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, until the day that I rise up to the prey.
Go ahead.
For my determination is to gather the nations.
See, which is World War III. So no matter what these treaties, you know, this guy Trump, he's gonna have to sit down with this guy Kim Jong-un, one of these different Putin, you know. Oh, because they thought that was gonna kill the tensions between Russia and America when Trump came into office. Because Putin and Trump kind of had a relationship, so much so that they thought Putin hacked into the votes. They thought Putin had something to do with Trump getting in there. But since he got, so let's show you that this is the will of the Lord, man. All right? Hey, because even Trump, he went over to Russia, they had prostitutes and shit set up for him.
That's right.
Brothels.
That's right.
They rolled the red carpet out for him. But guess what? Now they at each other's throat. Why? Let's read this again. Zephaniah 3 and 8.
Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, until the day I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations.
And that's Armageddon.
Yeah.
You know? which is the gathering of no, is that the gathering? No, that's yep. No, that's Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat.
Yeah.
Jehoshaphat. But Armageddon, I'm a God one, which is the gathering of the troops, man. You know?
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them mine indignation.
And how is the Lord going to pour upon his indignation? Go ahead.
It says, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
With the fire of my jealousy. And that fire is going to come in the form of those ICBM missiles, man. So this is the will of the Lord. Ain't nothing you people can do. You can lock arms, you can sign a petition, and nothing's going to turn back the intents and purposes of Yahweh Shema Shah. All right? So go ahead, bring that up.
It's Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 1. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, behold, I will rise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, and destroy and win.
And destroy and win. Now the question I ask, where have they coined the phrase for those nuclear missile kickback in the scrap metal? Nuclear wins. Now, real quick, I'll hold that and somebody get revelation. And that's the spirit. We ain't even really got into the lesson yet, man. I mean, that's the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah. All right, right now the Lord has proven that he is in harmony with the ideal of war, man. See?
I got you.
So bring that up.
This Revelation 7:1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth.
Yep, go ahead.
The wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Nor on any tree, right? Now, if you ever saw those old tests, like in the black and white, what's the first thing you see? The tree bend back. That's the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah.
Right.
Showing you spiritual things through tangible evidence. Go ahead.
It says, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads.
Right. So once the elect is sealed, which through the spirit, we believe that that number, that righteous number, is already sealed. Then the Lord is going to send forth those missiles, man. All right. Now, real quick, if you ever notice rain, you know, when rain come down, rain, it makes a puddle. Like you see, the rain, the vibration of rain, you can see the waves, the sound waves. And that's why rain is a constant reminder. If you're spiritual, you will know that rain that's the Lord reminding you I'm about to send those missiles, man. Because the Lord sent rain. Hey, the Lord perfect. You know, back in the time of Noah, the Lord sent that rain, right? Now you know what proof, you know, we ain't got to bring out no evidence, no documents. We ain't need no archaeologists, right? You know what we know through the spirit, how we can prove you that the flood was real? When it started raining, you niggas run for cover. When it started raining, why in the hell everybody running for shelter? It ain't like the rain is a knife.
Like the razor blade.
Yeah, razor blade, a stone. It's soft water. So why when the rain come down, everybody running for cover?
Just to add on that,
that's your spirit confirming that you was back in those days, man.
So, like, if I add on that, you know, being down here in Birmingham, the city shut down when it rained. Okay, and I've been to different cities and stuff. Only people you see out is so-called white man. You see what I'm saying? In the rain, so you already know they didn't care. They don't care. And after rain came what? The rainbow. And he promised us that till he would not flood the earth no more. Okay?
Water.
This time. The earth no more. The water this time. That's why he gave us rainbow. Well, I was right on point when that rain. Y'all duck and run.
Yeah, you duck and running, man. Because that's a testament that you was back in those days, man. And that rain, your spirit still shook up from the wrath of Yahweh Shema Shah. So now that rain is going to be in the form of missiles. That's why when the rain hit, you see that vibration, that puddle. You know, right up This
time's gonna be rain of fire. This is Ezekiel 38 and verse 22. It It says, and I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him, and overflowing rain and great hailstones, fire and brimstone.
And that's those missiles. Those hailstones is the missiles, man. It ain't gonna be comets, because that was a lot of niggas think. Asteroids. No, man. The Lord is gonna use the very thing that Esau came into power with to take him out of power.
That's right.
Don't make us get the scripture on, because we'll go right to it. Man. Go ahead and bring it out. Don't make it probably the truth. Niggas over there in Georgia, man. Yeah, go ahead,
Probably saying with hex on this.
Yeah, nigga got it.
Man. Fitted cap.
Yeah, LA Dodge fitted cap. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Proverbs 26 and 27. Whoso dig with pitch shall fall therein, and he that rolled up a stone, it will return upon him.
Right, and that stone that the so-called white man rolled, the so-called white man didn't destroy the other nations with lightning bolts. He did it with weaponry, with missiles and his technology. That same weaponry gonna come down on him. That's why the scriptures say Esau gonna be taken in his own craftiness, man. All right. So yeah, we go back to that.
I can jump down this article.
Did you finish off on what you had?
It's about Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah 51. Yeah, now finish off on that, then we go back.
It's Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 2. And when send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. Yes. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about.
Yeah, around about. Meaning all these nations gonna come up against this whore. Now, what used to happen in the ancient world when a woman was found out to be a harlot? Everybody came out with those hailstones.
Yep. Now, they still doing that in India to this day.
Yeah. Hey, when you go into the time of your house shot, right? With they surrounded the one prostitute and they was ready to stone. They was ready to hail stones on.
Yep.
That's right.
That whore. So now the spirit got it where all these nations, they drunk with the name mad, right? And they got them stones, and they're gonna shoot. That's why when you read the scriptures talk about she opened her quiver she opened her quiver to every arrow.
Okay.
That's twofold, man.
Yeah,
See, really, when you go into these scriptures, man, it's all a build up to the destruction of America, man. Straight up. Because the destruction of America is going to usher in the return of Yahushua. That's the climax of existence. When Yahushua come back, it's nothing that can trump that. That's the top, right? But what's going to be the bridge to that? The destruction of America. So America, that's why when you read like Judges, the 5th chapter, Job, the 38th chapter, all these different scriptures are talking about the destruction of America, man. You know? Because that's the Lord chose America to be set up for him to come back.
That's right.
You know? You know, like if I make a movie, Rocky or some shit, Rocky beat the baddest nigga at the end. He don't beat him in the beginning. He got this certain person he want to beat at the end and make it triumph. You know what I mean?
Right.
So America, don't sleep on the fact that America is recorded all throughout the scriptures, man. So we're in very monumental time. All right? So go ahead up.
Yeah, jump down this article a little bit. It says, today I am scared that some politicians and generals in Washington and maybe in other capitals, they have started thinking about the possibility of being a winner in nuclear war. He added, I would like to use this opportunity to send a message that is impossible to win a nuclear war.
Yeah, see, why is all this talk of war why are these words war being thrown all around, man? As if we the only someone that you know, like we concocted some type of elaborate plan to talk about war and bring out the scriptures tonight. I mean, we all got together, everybody got scriptures, and we gonna merit it with war. But even externally, you see people talking about war, man.
That's right.
Because you got them clowns, ITR. I asked, it was a while back, months back, that dude, the head of the camp, he said, show me what World War III is, you know what I mean, all that shit, right? Well, when you get, matter of fact, get Jeremiah 28:8 right quick. Because they want us, they want to see, their whole rallying cry is the second woe is not World War II. All right? As if we crazy. Well, if we so crazy, why is this written? Jeremiah 28:8.
It's Jeremiah 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war, of evil and of a pestilence.
Right. So, how we so off the mark? Like somebody said, what? We so crazy for meriting World War III descriptions, but that goes the prophecy telling you that the prophets is going to prophesy of pestilence, evil, but most importantly, war. So you shouldn't scratch your head when we bring out war. When we say it's going to be a World War III, as if the Bible said we're going to talk about all these things, we ain't going to talk about World War III. I mean, not just some war, but a war that's on a global scale. Scriptures ain't gonna talk about that, man. Man, come on, man.
I'm not trying to bring you the whole gospel.
Yeah, see that?
Hey, it is.
Yep. So go back.
Yeah, Con. It says,
just get over whatever meat you got of that, then we'll get out of there. There's a lot going on. Yeah, just try to find whatever you can get.
All right, Con.
Then while he getting there, somebody get Revelation 11 chapter. Get that on that.
Says Russian ambassador to the U.S. Antonov speaks about the Russian relationship at this Stimson Center, Washington D.C. But Mr. Antonov also applauded the Trump administration's efforts to pursue North Korean nuclear weapons. It says he said nuclear disarmament is not an easy project. It seems to me it is impossible to achieve a tangible result within 1 month or a year. You may know from history how many years we've spent to arm. We had to spend more time and more money to dismantle an excessive quantity of our missiles and warheads. I understand why.
So why they talking about missiles and warheads?
Okay.
If we so crazy, why they talking about it?
Right.
But you know, they go to show, Yahweh Shah did a number on you people. He blinded y'all. Y'all do not see the fact that World War III is on the horizon. This thing is inching up, it's creeping up, and y'all can't see it. And when we bring it out, y'all look at us like we got two heads. Like, how dare you merit World War III with the scriptures? Meanwhile, that's the vibration on the planet Earth. See?
Yeah, I just want to add, man, and just to think that Trump went to North Korea for that so-called summit, or wherever they met for that so-called summit, just like he did Saddam. You know, the powers of America did Saddam, Gaddafi. They went in to steal their nuclear missiles. They went in to steal and to rape and rob and plunder from their nuclear warheads to receive them of their own, to make sure they have their own, just like they did in World War II. Okay, same thing they did in World War II. They took the scientists and they came up with this construct of the atomic bomb. And America, man, that's all they've been known of, man, ever since their existence, man, is robbing the people of the world, okay, and giving them that policy, giving them that cup to drink of, that wine, making them drunk. And that's why these countries and these nations are pissed off at America. That's why America gonna fucking die, man, to be destroyed, man.
I got a piece of y'all saw what you were saying about the nations being mad.
Okay.
It's
That was you got Jeremiah 50.
Yeah.
14.
This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand.
That's right. See?
That made all the earth drunk.
That's right.
Yeah, that's dealing with the ideas, the philosophies.
Yeah, and also dealing with Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, Germany. They taking that science, they taking all that creation, that technology, and gathering to themselves, man. And then they want to spew it out onto the world, just like they tried to do with North Korea. But Kim Jong-un wasn't having that. He He wouldn't have. He knew that if he gave up his nuclear arsenal, that America was gonna come in and rape their ass, point blank, period, man. And that just dawned on me. You know, that just through the spirit. It dawned on me.
Finish it off.
Go ahead, finish off.
The nation had drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Right.
That's right.
So these different nations, they are poised to wreak havoc on America. But guess what? That's the spirit of the Lord, man. The spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, is on these other nations to do his bidding. All right. So from there,
Okay, I got Joel up.
yeah, hold that.
Okay.
And 11, that's what I want. Get that Revelation 11. Start at the top.
Revelation 11 and verse 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
Right, and they're dealing with all the brothers, you know, the Akim, the Aqua, brothers, the few sisters out there that subscribe to the truth. That's those who worship in the temple. And the temple is not some physical building. That's us coming together, you know? That's the body. All right, go ahead.
Verse 2, Revelation 11 and verse 2. But the court which is without the temple,
all you unbelievers, you know, as well as you other nations, go ahead.
Leave out.
Go ahead.
And measure it not.
And measure it not. Go ahead.
For it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months.
Yep, read it.
Verse 3, Revelation 11 and verse 3, and I will give power unto my 2 witnesses.
Yeah, and that's dealing with the elect, the prophets. Because those 2 witnesses is symbolic to the 2 kingdoms. You have the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. Yeah. You have prophets throughout those kingdoms. Go ahead.
And they shall prophesy.
And they shall prophesy. Oh, that's what we open up the lesson with, man. The spirit of prophecy has rested upon us, man. The man had a great millstone. And if you having a problem with extrapolating who's who, you know, who to follow, if you straddling the fence, well, you should narrow it down by saying who's actually prophesying. All right? Go ahead.
It says 1,203 days clothed in sackcloth.
Yeah. And that's what we doing. That sackcloth is symbolic to mourning. You know? Go ahead.
It says, Revelation 11 and 4, these are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the Most High of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devour their enemies.
Right. So that's what we actually do, you know. You know, prove that. You go to Jeremiah. Yeah, get that real quick. Now, some reason why we wanted to start at the top of this, because it said marriage in the house, right? When you're in the house, what happens? You are shielded and protected from the outside elements.
That's right.
Such as what? The wind, which the wind is somebody to the doctrines. You know, you read Ephesians 4th chapter. The rain. When it's raining, what protects you? The roof. So when we just read Revelation 11 chapter, it started off by saying, measure the temple. Then when you end off, it's going into World War III. Because what's going to protect you from World War III? Being in this temple. Now, I'm going to look up the word refuge right quick. And when you look it up, somebody hold Isaiah 4 and start at verse 4. First, look up this.
Yeah, this Psalms 91 and 2, it says, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him will I trust.
My fortress, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is you want refuge.
Refuge, right?
Yeah, there's refuge in Strong's 4268 in his my cat, something like that. It's like if I chopped it up, it's our refuge, shelter. It says from rain.
Shelter from rain. Shelter from rain. So the rain is a constant reminder. People think it rain. Esau, they like to say it's rain because the dew point is low and this bullshit. If you're in the spirit, you know that that's the Lord constantly reminding you, the mills is coming, motherfucker. The mills is coming. The rain is a constant reminder. All right, keep reading.
It says from rain or storm, from danger of falsehood.
Now, when has rain been danger? Because that rain is dealing with the nuclear missile. Now, you got more on that?
That was it.
Now, give me Isaiah 4 and start at verse 4.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 4 and verse 4. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth. It's like, when the Lord shall wash away all the filth of the daughters of Zion.
That's dealing with us. St. John 15 and 3. And plenty more scriptures. Ooh. So that the Lord giving you the chronological order. Once I give you this word and I wash away your filth, we're going to have?
And shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. And the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon her assemblies a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of a flaming fire by night. For upon all the glory shall be a defense. And there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime.
A tabernacle is what? A house. All right. Go ahead.
It said for a shadow in the daytime from the heat.
And what's that heat? The Lord said going to set up a tabernacle for a shadow from the daytime from the heat. And that's talking about the mills. Go ahead.
And from a place of refuge. And for a covert from
covered. Go ahead.
And for a covered from storm and from rain.
And from rain. Now, go back to Revelation 11 and 1.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of
the refuge, the fortress. You know what prove that all that links together? Jump down to the 14th verse. We're going to show you that all that links together. The house, the refuge from the rain. Go to the 14th verse.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past.
World War II.
And behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
So what is talking about the tabernacle for? The fortress. Because that's what's going to protect us. Now, jump to the 8th verse and read that. What the scriptures say, read precept by precept.
Right. Revelation.
The Lord really didn't want you niggas to get it, you know? That's all good.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city.
That's America. Go ahead.
Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Meaning our Lord was X'd out. The true nature of Yahushua was crossed out here in America. From the image, you know, the physical image, then the way you perceive our Lord Yahushua to have went about his business. I think the Lord was all. I was watching some shit, man. I think it was a documentary. And they showed the Lord splashing. You saw that? Having a water fight with the disciple in slow motion, man. Fucking Edomites, man.
And that scene was right before he was going to get crucified, you know?
Yeah.
That cycle they splat.
Splashing water and shit. Yeah.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Revelation 11 and verse 9, it says,
so what do you mean by crucifying the Lord? You don't really know the true nature of Yahushua. You don't know Yahushua don't play, man. You know? Go ahead.
And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half.
Yep.
And shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
Meaning, you know, they're not going to cover us. They want to give us rest. Go ahead.
Verse 10, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
Right.
And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them.
Right, and that's dealing with this knowledge, man. The Lord gave us, after that time period, the Lord gave us this knowledge. That's how you blow the trumpet. A trumpet can't blow without the breath. Right, like you got IUIC, these different groups. They're a shiny, polished up trumpet with no breath. How you gonna warn the people without the breath? You know, you need the breath to blow. So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Then while you getting that, what that is, she is the very breath of the Most High, Wisdom of Solomon.
Yeah, I know.
You can find that.
I think it was
Yeah, I think that is that. And there's another scripture too, Job.
Yeah, I was looking like
if you can get that too, because it said the inspiration. Yeah. I don't know if it's Job. That's a prayer or something like that. I ain't sure. Well, I can find it.
Yeah, that one I was looking for in Job.
You know what? I'll find Job if you can find it in the Psalm real quick. I'll get where he get.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, just going on to what the ark just said about the rest of these camps. You know what I'm saying? They got the skin, but they don't have the inspiration, which is the breath of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai says, Ezekiel 37 and 8, and this is the prophet Ezekiel here in America. You know, the Most High through the Spirit put him in the midst of America. It says, and when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them.
Right, meaning they knew they was Israelites, they had their identity, but they ain't had a breath. See? So it's one thing to know that you're an Israelite, but who cares? You know, you got the identity, but do you got the breath? Do you have the breath of your outside, man? Right. And what it take breath to what?
To blow the trumpet.
Right. Prophesy, man. See? That's simple. So go ahead.
Which one? The Williams?
You got the Job. You got both of them coming.
Yeah.
Start off with the Job.
Yeah, this Job 32 and 8. It says, but there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty.
Now, when you go to the word inspiration, what it mean? Breath. Yep. You know? That's what it means. Breath.
Beautiful.
Right?
Beautiful. Yeah, that was it says, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding.
See, right?
Yeah, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, and in verse 20. I'm starting at verse 24. He said, for wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of the Most High.
See, she is the breath. So if you're not prophesying, you don't have wisdom.
That's right.
You literally don't have wisdom if you're not prophesying.
That's right.
You know?
Yep. Because
wisdom is the very breath.
Yep.
You know? So really, technically, you dead. Yeah. You in the congregation of the dead.
You in that dust. You in that dust.
Yeah, that's right. Dust, confused. Right. You're in the grave.
Yeah. Right. It says, for she is the breath of the power of the Most High, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore, can no defiled thing fall into her. Right.
So, no one who was not predestined to, capitalize the true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scripture. They can't just stumble. You know, like a nigga in the streets, right? You can stumble across something that wasn't meant for you, but not in this truth. If we're meant for you to get this word, you're not gonna get it. I don't give a damn who break it down to you, man. We can sit down with a film study session all night, a marathon. Hey, you got it. You got the script. You get it. Break it down. You're taking notes. You come back tomorrow, man. Nigga ain't gonna get it, man. Yep. So let's go back to what we was at Revelation 11.
Revelation chapter 11.
Oh, y'all had something?
No, I had a quick precept on the comment board.
Okay, bring it.
Kasab, GMS.
The brother Kasab.
Hey, shalom.
He put up 2 Timothy 3:16. All scripture is given by inspiration of God Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. That's 5 precepts.
That's beautiful, yeah.
For that precept.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, Revelation chapter 11 and verse, I'm going to start at 15 again. The seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord.
Right, because the Lord pretty much subdued all the kingdoms. That's why I said the Lord had many crowns. He had many crowns. Yeah, go ahead.
And of his Hamashiach, and he shall reign forever and ever.
Right, so the kingdom that's prepared, the kingdom that's about to be ushered in, we ain't got to look over our shoulders. So we ain't going to hear no reports. Somebody stirred up the Medes. We're going to have everybody under control, man. Yeah, go ahead up.
Revelation of the Medes.
None of that.
Revelation 11 and verse 16. And the 24 elders which sat before the Most High on their seats fell upon their faces and worshiped the Most High, saying, we give thee thanks, O Lord, power almighty, which art and was and art to come.
Right, and that proves right there that America is not outside the understanding of Yahweh Shema Shah. People think like America somehow slipped past Yahweh Shema Shah. The Lord said he's the power of really the past, present, and future. Matter of fact, you want to get that real quick? Revelation 1st chapter? Get that real quick. All right, the Lord controls all sides of the spectrum, man.
That's right.
It's Revelations. It's like Revelations 1 and 8. It says, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, said the Lord, which is and which was and which is to come, the Almighty.
Right, which was, meaning the Lord have jurisdiction over the past, which is, meaning the Lord is over the present, and which is to come. I don't even want to go there. And which, yeah. I'm trying to get you to go there, man. But hey, that's heavy though. It's heavy. You know, like it's like a DVD, damn it.
Yeah.
You know, like you got a DVD, you got the chapters. Like you can put the DVD in. You got chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3.
Yep.
You can tap into whatever chapter you want, man.
Man,
So this thing goes way further than what we even can imagine, man. See what I'm saying? You know what proved that? When Satan came to Yahushua and he showed him the kingdoms, he said, you can have these kingdoms. It was just like a DVD, man. He pressed what time period he wanted him to see, you know? So he was able to tap into that. All right? So,
Revelation chapter 11, I'm starting at verse 15, Salaki.
I think you still at verse 12.
Yep. 16. Yep. Revelation 11 and 16. And the 24 elders were set before the Most High on their seats.
Where you at? You ain't in Revelation. Let me see. You in 11?
Mm-hmm. You get a precept to the past, present.
Okay, come. All right. Because I really want to, you know what? Read 14 again, then jump down to 18.
Come. Revelation 11 and 14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming.
Yeah, so the third woe coming quickly, right? So that means since World War II has already been accomplished, World War III has been speeding up, right? After that. Because when you go into the history, right after World War II, I forget this guy named, He was Russian after World War II. But right after World War II, the nuclear arm race, what was his name?
Stalin.
That's him. Stalin. Yeah. After him, after World War II, the nuclear arm race immediately started, right then. So that's letting you know, right? The second war, the third war coming quicker, man. This thing ain't simple, man. All right? So right now, we right at the border of World War III. So now jump to the 18th verse.
Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged.
Right. Go ahead.
And that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great.
Yeah, meaning, you might have some brothers who get a lot of views and a lot of attention, and then you might have some brothers that appear to be small. They might not get that many views, but the Lord gonna reward all of us, man. The same penny, man.
That's right.
So brothers got to keep pushing, no matter what. If you ain't getting no views, you ain't getting that much activity, keep pushing, man. You're gonna get a reward. All right, go ahead.
It says, and to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and should have destroyed them which destroyed the earth.
Dealing with who? Esau. So-called white man. Goddamn plastic in the ocean. You got the sea life committing suicide. Like they swim ashore to get out of to get out of the damn ocean, man. See? Go ahead, Art.
Verse 19, and the temple of the Most High was open in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament, and there were lightning and voices and thundering and an earthquake.
And that earthquake is dealing with the nuclear missile. Now, real quick, jump up to in the 11th verse. What is that? Yeah, 11. It started at 11.
11.
Yeah. Because when you go into the word earthquake, see a lot of simple guys, like them dudes over there in Georgia, teachers of truth, they see the word earthquake and it registered with them as a so-called natural disaster. But they don't understand that the word earthquake is a compound word. Quake means shake. So anything to make the earth shake is considered an earthquake, man.
God, that's something they should learn in elementary school.
Yeah. You know what?
Geography.
And you know what? Somebody get that real quick. Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24. Because when the earth, whatever causes the earth to shake will be an earthquake. It ain't got to be just a natural disaster. The Richter scale,
Fault
line. Fault line and whatever causes the earth to shake will be considered an earthquake.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Even in Vegas when they was blowing up the old casino,
the
earth shook.
Yeah, that's an earthquake.
That's an earthquake. True.
It was actually. No, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. Kind of. Even when you hit the fault lines on a certain, when you born up under the earth, when you putting in conduit or what so, if you hit certain fault lines, the earth will shake. And you will feel that. You will hear that. It might not be on a magnitude of 7, 8, 9, whatever Richter scale they so-called call it, but it's still making the earth shake. That's called an earthquake. Okay, we ain't got to go into 101 earthquake.
Yeah. That means you start at 19. And even it was an old football game, LSU game. It got so loud. It moved the Richter scale, man.
That was the loudest in college.
Motherfuckers, them crackers got so loud down, they got drunk and they was jumping around and hollering so loud the shit moved the Richter scale. So that was considered an earthquake. Whatever causes the earth to shake, that's considered an earthquake. All right. So go ahead.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 24:19. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again.
Right, so the earth is going to move to and fro like a drunkard, meaning the earth is going to quake, it's going to shake. So it ain't got to be a so-called natural disaster to cause the earth to move back and forth. The missile's going to do that, okay? So now you can go back to Revelation 11:11.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Mm-hmm.
And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither.
Mm-hmm.
And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
Right.
Verse 13, and the same hour was, there a great earthquake.
See, so that's simultaneously the deliverance along with the destruction. In order for you to be delivered, there has to be a destruction. So we're going to ascend up into that cloud, which is symbolic to the chariots, and in the same hour, meaning in the same time frame, it's going to be a great earthquake with the nuclear missiles. And you know what's a vivid illustration of that? And we done went into it twice tonight. Psalms, the 91st. That's a vivid illustration of that. We ain't got to get it again. We already touched on it. But that's a vivid illustration of Revelation 11th chapter.
And I can say it's simultaneously.
Yeah, it's simultaneously going to happen. Because you can't be delivered without the destruction.
Yeah.
So the earthquake going to happen while we're going to be beamed up into the ship. All right, you got more on that?
It says, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And
that 10th part of the city is dealing with completely America. Mm-hmm. Because when you go into all the area codes, it ends in 10. Yep. Like from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. Mm-hmm. The West Coast is the last. And I think the last one is 110. It's 10. This is where you get Beverly Hills 1 9, So the 10th part of the city is dealing with America. Yep. All right.
It says, and the earthquake, Salakia, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000.
Right. So that don't mean 7,000 literal people. 7,000 mean completion.
Right. Yeah.
That complete number, which is number to the sword, is going to be destroyed.
That's right.
And only the elect is going to escape in 1/3. Go ahead.
And the remnant were affrighted.
Hold that and get what you got. You got
that. First Peter. This First Peter 4, verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
Right, so the righteous scarcely going to be saved. And that's what this is talking about.
That's right.
See? So the scriptures say 7,000 mean a complete number of people going to be destroyed, and the remnant is going to escape. All right? And really, when you go into the idea of a remnant, the remnant is what's left over. Let's say, like, if you got a bowl of flour and you dump it out, you hit it, what's left is the remnant. All right? Go ahead.
It says, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the Most High of heaven.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to be crying with all we got. We're going to be shouting. We're going to be giving glory to Yahweh from Yahushua. Then when we see Yahushua bringing us up in the tail, you know how we're going to act, man? We're going to lose it, Well,
yeah, man, hey, we doing that now, man. You know what I'm saying? About pushing out these videos, these sit downs, going to camps, whatever. But we don't even know when it would happen and when it would happen. Like I said, we're going to be doing that 10 times.
That's right.
Man.
Trillion times.
A trillion times more, man.
Yeah,
because we're afraid now, man. We're afraid right now.
Every day.
We in fear every day. Yep. And when that deliverance happens, man, just behold how much more we're gonna be doing this, man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Just beautiful.
So that was it on that. I ain't go where we Isaiah 13.
Isaiah 13:1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Mm-hmm. I make a point on that. The burden of Babylon, man. I mean,
right.
But continuing on, it says, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. It says, I have commanded my sanctified ones, I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness.
Yeah, continue.
The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise. The kingdoms of the nations gather together. The Lord of hosts musters the host of the battle.
Right. So that scripture right there said a whole lot, man. Because the noise of a multitude in the mountains is dealing with those missiles. All right. And the Lord said He gathered all these nations together. He's the host. Now you have a party. You have the host. Well, the Lord is the host. He's the warrior. He's the ultimate warrior, man. He the host to this party. Right? So the Lord gathered all these nations. Matter of fact, what you got, Joel? We hold that and somebody get Joel 3 first.
Yeah, kind of.
I know y'all got Joel 2. Get Joel 3.
This is Joel 3. I'm starting at verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of the war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Men, and take all your resources and turn them into and beef up your military arsenal, man.
Right.
You know, your nuclear capabilities. Right now, you even got India. The motherfuckers with sounders. Them motherfuckers got the ICBM missiles, man. That's the spirit of the hour. You know what I mean? You know, with India, you ain't got to roll with some sounders. Some dude named Zohar. You know what I mean? Zohar.
They consider to be a Chaldean, one of the Chaldeans out there. Yeah. They so smart.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you got Rohan. Some of out of India.
It says, let the weak say I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord.
And that's dealing with the angels. Because that links up with Revelation the 7th chapter. All right, go ahead. They're the ones holding back the four winds.
It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
And the heathen is being awakened. These other nations, they stirred up. You know, the Lord got them. We were going, and we could have went into a lot more information, articles, and sources that dealing with these different nations, how they stirred up, man. And it's nothing but fighting words going out. You know, these different nations, they ready, man. They ready to lock horns, man. See? But we like, you know, like you have a boxing match and you have the commentator. That's the prophets. We telling you how it's going to play out.
Yeah, that's right.
You know? In this corner, 250 pounds.
Watch that left.
Weighing out of Catskill, New York. Go ahead.
It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe.
Right, this is the right time. This is that season. Okay? For America to be plucked up. Go ahead.
Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision.
Yep.
For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened.
And how come the sun and the moon are going to be darkened? Because the multitude, the innumerable amount of missiles is going to cover out the sky. And guess what? The day of the Lord is going to be something you can't comprehend. You know why? Let's say if you're in a room, right? Let's say this room we're in right now. Right here we got a lamp, you know? If we was to put a lamp shade over that lamp, what it's going to do? It's going to make the rest of the room look crazy. So when those missiles cover the sun, it's going to make everything look crazy. The trees going to look blue probably. Straight up. You know, they're going to look like, real talk. If we were to take a lamp, you take a lamp and you put another covering over that bulb, it make the rest of the room look crazy. So when those missiles blot out the sun, and that sun gonna be shining through the rays of those missiles, it's gonna make everything look different. The color gonna change, man. That's why the day of the Lord is gonna be something that's never been seen before. See? Yeah, go ahead.
I had a precept what you're going to about how many missiles gonna come. So it's on Revelation 9, verse 16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. and I heard a number of them.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then horseman is symbolic of power. You know, that's why when you consider cars, it's measured upon horsepower. You might say, "Oh, this car got so many horses." So that's why the mills is compared to horse. You know what? With that, go to Joel.
Joel, the second chapter.
Yeah. Hey, and then whoever got jumped to the point of the horses.
All right, kind.
And then we'll start back up at the top.
I got a quick precept too.
Yeah, bring it up.
This is going back at Isaiah 13 and verse 10. It says, "For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in its going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine." Yeah, kind. So, hey, man, 1 mil or 2 mils, not even 100 mils can do that, man. Big as an airplane is, it don't block the sky. You barely even see a shadow of one, man.
The atomic bomb.
Yeah. So 200 million mils, that's going to block the sky, man. You know those arrows, man. That's why the sun is not going to give his light, man. So it's like, you got something?
May I say something?
Go ahead.
About this is another analogy is that movie 300.
Yeah,
Okay. When no arrows blacked out the sun, your Xerxes, Xerxes is in the prophet.
Yeah.
Okay, so these so-called white folks, these Edomites, they already know what's going to happen because they portray it in their movies. So when Xerxes told them, "My arrow's going to block out the sun," and y'all seen that scene, guess what it did? It blocked out the sun. So just think how much more when these missiles get, which they are so much bigger than these arrows. Okay. They and like I just read, 200,000, man. But y'all don't see it. Y'all
And that's why the scriptures, Habakkuk, the first chapter, I think, it said, "Lord say you're gonna work in your day that you don't believe."
Yep.
That all falls under the guise of that work, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty much the point. Yeah, I got a precept.
I think the same chapter, using 2, right? Joel 2.
Yeah.
It's on Joel 2, verse 7. "They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march everyone on his ways. And they shall not break thy ranks."
Yeah, meaning out of all the missiles that's gonna be in the sky, they're not gonna bump into each other.
That's right.
You know?
I see.
You jumped before, because he just read Revelation 9.
Really just started at the top.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Before you do, you get it. All right, go back to go. He gonna start at the top. You go back to Revelation 9. Read Revelation 9 one more time. Because all this is pretty much an allegory, man.
That's right.
And if you can't, if the spirit ain't rested on you, you're not gonna see what we talking about. You'll say them dudes crazy as hell, man. You know, if you were ear hustling us, them dudes crazy. This time of night, you talking about some missiles. Go ahead, Al.
There's Revelation chapter 9, verse 16. "And the number of the army of the horsemen was 200,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a number of them."
Right. So the number of the horsemen. Again, the reason why the missiles is compared to horses is because horses symbolizes power. All right. So that, where were you at?
Yeah, the Joel 2 and 1, it said, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound the alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord coming, for it is nigh at hand."
Right. So we blowing the trumpet. You know? Again, without the breath, you can't blow the trumpet. You know? So we letting, and that show you right there that if you part of these Israelite groups, we were talking about earlier, dude might come in. But these different Israelite groups out there that claim to build their foundation off the scriptures, right? If they're not warning the people of the impending danger, then you don't line up with the scriptures, man. You're not in harmony. You're not under the orders of your house shot, man. All right? Go ahead up.
Said, "A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness."
So why is the prophet Joel making a conscious effort to warn you about this day if that is a hell? If it were hell, I think that Joel, he'll waste his ink. You know what I mean? Warning you about that place, man. But he's warning you about World War III. All right? Let's just call it like it is. Go ahead.
That's right. It says, "As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and the strong There have not ever been the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, meaning these missiles, it's not going to be any other creation like this, because they were designed to do what they got to do, and that's going to be it. You know, well,
it says a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness.
Right. So what's that going into? Before the missiles touch down, this place is going to be a paradise, which all these different nations of people, they consider America to be a paradise, man.
America the great.
Yeah,
America the brave. America this, America that.
Exactly. The glory of kingdom.
Oh,
yeah. You know? Well,
it says, and behind them a desolate wilderness.
Right. So this place is going to be a paradise before the missiles hit ground zero. But once they hit, it's going to be a wilderness, man. You know?
That's right.
Go ahead.
It says, yeah, and nothing shall escape them.
Right. Go ahead.
The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses.
Yeah, and we just read in Revelation the 9th chapter. So you see where the scriptures don't contradict themselves, and the scriptures is in total agreement with one another. Everything is synchronized, is in synergy with each other, man. All the scriptures. You know? That's why we thank the Most High, man, He gave us the understanding to see what these scriptures talking about. Because you can see where people are stumbling at this. People don't know what the hell we talking about. Go ahead, huh?
It says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses,
and
as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap.
Yeah, let you know that that's talking about an aerial attack. Because horses is not known to leap over damn mountains. So that's symbolic. No, missiles going to come from an aerial attack. One day you people going to be, looking up. Oh, that's why Yahweh said they ate and drank until to the flood.
They seen
that
rain
drop
on one top.
That one drop did.
And that's how they're going to be. They're going to see them missiles. They're going to see that missile coming, man. They're going to hear that eerie sound of the warning. That emergency broadcast.
That tornado one.
Yeah. And the Lord going to make it real dramatic, man. Go ahead.
It says, like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble.
Oh, yeah, the key word, they'll leap. They're going to leap. So they're going to be in an area attack.
Right. It says, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble, as a strong people sit in battle array, before their face, the people shall be much pain.
Right. So that proved that the people, and it's a saying, there's no worse feeling than knowing you're going to die. So you're going to see the missiles coming. You're going to see this is the way I'm finna die, man. So that's why their face going to be with much pain. All right, continue up.
God, it says, all faces shall gather blackness.
And that blackness somebody to what? Confusion. They're not going to be enlightened, But what the fuck? Last thing on their mind is missiles coming. So y'all bad, y'all about y'all science, man.
God, it said they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not
that
break.
Wall is somebody to this missile defense system, which is shoddy at best. Because in the ancient world, you had a wall, as a defense.
It says, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon a sword, they shall not be wounded.
And that's going to the missile defense system again.
And that sword is Esau.
Yep. Because when you go into the missile defense system, they shoot down other missiles. So that's why the scripture said when you fall on the sword, they're not going to be wounded. And they did a simulation of that maybe some months ago, where the missiles were shooting, and Esau was trying to shoot the missile down, but they couldn't do it. They had to slow down the missile just to shoot it down. Go ahead.
Got precept too about missiles not thrusting in each other and breaking their ranks.
Mm-hmm.
This is Isaiah 13 and verse 5. It says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his nation to destroy the whole land.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the spirit of the Lord is gonna be in those missiles, man.
Yep.
So he's a man of war. You know how back in the ancient world you had the men lined up a certain way. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
yeah, certain ranks and this and that. Yeah, I mean, so the point of attack, no one's gonna get in each other's way. When you start slinging those swords, you ain't gonna hit your guy. You're gonna hit the enemy, man. Yeah, I mean, so
like a cavalry.
Yeah, kind
Like you know about the cavalry, the
Infantry.
general. He'll lead the charge. He blow, he blow the horn. He lead. In the ancient world, the leader, the king, they went to war too,
Yeah,
man.
they was the first in there.
Yeah,
The first one.
these faggots,
Yeah.
or these Edomites.
Yeah, they send
They sit back and they send out the assault, you know?
President America, he's just been on
Chief and commander in chief, man.
Yeah.
He's sitting there.
he don't even turn the key. He
Yeah,
don't even turn the key. He just tells somebody to turn the key.
Yeah. Go ahead, huh? All right, you go back to Joel.
Yeah, kind
That
of.
was it on Joel?
There's a little bit more on this.
On Isaiah 13?
Yeah, it's more.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I mean,
If you got more on Isaiah 13?
Who's in that, Joel?
Yeah, but what you ended off on Isaiah 13?
Verse 5.
Verse 5. Finish off what you got on Isaiah 13, and then go back to Joel.
All right, kind of. Yeah, it means.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so all right, kind
So
of.
get the rest of the meat out there, Isaiah 13.
Yeah, Isaiah 13:6 is how ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
Right. Go ahead.
Therefore shall all
To
men.
prove that it's the Lord that's sanctioning this.
Mhm.
It's Yahweh Shemel Shah that's sending his henchmen. That's the army of the Lord right there, man.
Kind.
And we're going to read, when you go to Joel, we finish off with Joel, the second chapter, to tell you that. Go ahead.
It says, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt.
And we just read that in Joel, the second chapter. You're going to see the way you're going to die. You're going to know that you're about to get your ass handed to you by the missiles, man. 2 Chainz, all them niggas. You're going to see 2 Chainz flying, man.
Yep.
Chain, you know what I mean? It's going to be a beautiful day, man. Even but we're going to be scared in that day, you know? That's what the scripture said. We're going to be scared to say. Go ahead.
Kind. It says, and they shall be afraid, pains and sorrows shall take hold of them.
Mm-hmm.
They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames.
Yeah, their face gonna be enlightened. You know, their face gonna be bright. You know, you get a motherfucker attention. You gonna have Lord. I'm gonna have your attention that day, motherfucker. You gonna be, bright eyed and bushy tailed, man. Bright eyed and bushy tailed.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a challenge. Yeah, man, bright eyed and bushy tailed. Yeah.
It says, oh, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger,
See the day of the Lord.
to lay the land desolate. He shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
For the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. So yeah, man, that lets you know, man. Like I brought out earlier, the scriptures all to build up to the destruction of America, man. Which I throughout the whole scriptures is talking about these missiles, man, because that's the weapon the Lord is going to use to destroy this place, man.
Right.
Because, hey, saying in the word, what goes around comes around. The very same weapon that you use to get a firm grip on the earth is the same weapon that's going to be used to get you knocked out, man. Basically, you know what I mean?
So that was it on that?
Yeah.
Go back to Joel 2.
All right, yeah, this Joel chapter 2, and in verse I'm starting at verse 8. It says, neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword.
Listen to the Spirit of the Lord to raise up the men before us, the apostles and different men, to break these scriptures down, and we can see this clearly. But we can see what it was meant to throw the people off. He just hand that over to some nigga and say, man, break that down. He don't know what's going on, man. They're going to be the Old Testament. They're going to say, oh, man, that's a story of a war that happened in the time of Joel, right? Oh, man, see?
Most people think that.
Yeah,
most people thinking something happened in the past.
But the real fact that we can take the book of Joel and know that it's talking about the future. You can't gloss over that. That the Spirit of the Lord, man, opened us up, man. That's right. All right, so we're going to finish off with this.
I got precept.
Yeah, get your precept down. Yeah, all right. Go ahead.
This is Matthew 13 and 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing, they hear not, neither do they understand. And that just going back what to the ox said, man. Y'all don't understand what's going on. That's why Yahweh Shai, being the Son, spoke to y'all in parables, man. Okay? Because he knew 2/3 wouldn't get this truth. He knew that. He already knew it. Give it down to the Father. You know, give it to Yahweh Shai. He knew y'all wouldn't get this. That's why he spoke to y'all in parables. Hearing y'all hear everything we saying, but y'all hear not. Yeah. But hopefully we get it. It's like a snap. Like, damn, for real? And we go right into it and bear the cross.
Yeah, it registered with you. It registered with you. You know, like that bell thing, it registered with you. That light, you know.
Ding!
That what it do.
One of the parables, I was saying, like, a lot of people always, you shall drink my blood.
Cannibalism.
They go out and get Welch's grape juice and get some bread, you know, leavened bread, and feed to the congregation. And everybody baptized in water, and now they saved. But they still go out on Saturdays and Fridays and do their goddamn sinning deeds, thinking you're going to be saved. And Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai going to destroy y'all.
That's right.
Point blank.
All right, yeah, this Joel 2, and go back at 8 again. It said, neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk everyone his path, and when they shall fall upon a sword, they shall not be wounded.
Again, that's dealing with the nuclear defense system of America, correct?
It says, slightly, and then it says, got like a little comment under that precept. It says, burst through the weapons. So, that's a bad script. It says, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run up upon the walls. They shall climb up upon the mount, upon the house.
So Spirit gonna have what the missiles actually gonna be chasing people. This is gonna fuck people's mind up. Like when the missiles hit, they're gonna be running through the streets they're gonna be actually running through the streets, flying behind people, you know. And it might be motherfucker with a chip, a missile designated to that chip, you know.
Ooh.
You know? So you motherfucker gonna be following your ass. You running a Scud missile, and they ain't gotta be that big. You know, you running down shit, you running the house, Scud missile, you get in the house, oh shit, oh that bitch over there, that bitch busted with the
and they show you on Tom and Jerry, shooting bullets. Bullets stop.
Spirit of y'all about to be outside. That's right. See, that's why people think we crazy. That's why people think we crazy. Somebody with the foolishness of this world. Man, you got to think on both sides.
Because you sit in that radio freaking accent, you sitting that out, man.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the unicorn, man. The unicorns translate your
stuff. And that's what I was saying, right? Like anybody was there asking us right now, you got the scriptures in your hand and you fucking like Tom and Jerry. You do it out there fucking fine. That's serious over here, man.
That's serious.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them.
See?
Back in.
That's it. You know?
The heaven shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
Yep.
And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great.
For his camp is very great. Now, when you look up that word great, if you who got that? Who? Somebody in the blue letter, right quick. When you look up that word great right now, right? Joel, what that? Joel 2 and 10.
That's 2 and 11.
2 and 11. When you look up that word great right there, it proves that, you know, the scriptures say it's going to be 200,000 mills. Look up that word great right quick.
It says the word great, Strong's H7227. And the definition says much, many, great, much, many, abounding in, more numerous than.
See, more numerous than, right?
It says abundant, enough, great, strong, greater than.
Yep.
Much, exceedingly.
Yep, that's it. Yeah. So more numerous than. So that gives credence to what? Revelation, what that was, 9th chapter, 200,000. Right? So that was it on that?
I'm finish it off. It says, for he is strong that executeth his words, for the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. And who can abide?
Yeah, who can abide? All right. So let's end off on one more. Matthew 24, I think it's 6. We'll end off on that. All right? Because at the end of the day, you know, let's sit down and pretty much the overtone of what we teach here at Great Millstone, the bitterness of the scriptures, as well as the sweet, the balance, right? This idea of war is not contrary to the scriptures. You know? So Matthew 24, 6.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. For ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
And we are the ones who spread those rumors, man.
That's right.
Right. Even though you hear Putin and all these different guys, but what Jake come across Putin, they'll come across us before they come across the news of Putin and RT News, right? So who's spreading the rumors? That's why the scriptures say that you hear a rumor of war this year and that year, you know? Yeah. So
and hearing it's in the blue letter Bible, goes back to fame. So if you hear about it, that's even another thing that's making us famous, man. Through the hopes of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua being the hope for the elect.
Yeah, and you know,
hearing his fame.
Like young women, virgins, they gossip. That's why the scriptures call us the virgins, man. Ooh. We gossip we gossiping of this knowledge. You know, like what happened with a young woman? The dude they like tell them some shit, run some games, and what they do? They go telling their friend. He said this, girl. He told me this. He told me that. So this secret we got, we can't keep it a secret, man. Yahushua whispering in our ear. Oh, that's why Yahushua said when I'm whispering in the ear.
Yeah. Spirit, no, but the spirit.
Yeah. So we can't keep it quiet because that game the Lord running on us, man. All right, so read that again.
Yeah, it says, this is Matthew 24 and 6, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Mm-hmm. So that's the point. All right, you're gonna hear wars and rumors of wars, meaning when we push out this idea of World War III, it's nothing foreign and it shouldn't be foreign to you. But guess what? We know it's gonna be foreign to you if you're not numbered amongst that elk, all right, which is the elect and the 1/3. So with that, anybody else have something? All right, so with that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash.
Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the Shalom to the Akim and the Akwak out there, the brothers and a few sisters that subscribe to the truth as well. With that, Shalom.
Shalom.
ETA. Abide the bottle, you monsters.
ETA.